Hi, hello, good morning to this week's pet pairing, coming to you a little bit early this week because it may actually be the last video before my holiday, you guys. I'm very sorry. So the last time we saw each other was exactly a week ago. I'm actually going to start doing my makeup. And a week ago we did the cream products video. It was right before they announced the new collection. So unfortunately I didn't have the chance to talk about that just yet. I'm going to do my eyeshadow primer, and I just quickly wanted to mention it because it is now housed in this little container that I have here from something that they gave me as a sample at Lush. The thing is, I was starting to scrape my Urban Decay eyeshadow primer portion. It was really difficult for me to get product out, and I knew that when I pop the tube open there will be still plenty of product. Imagine my surprise when I found out that there is this much product. That is so much, you guys. I would never have been able to scrape that out of the walls of that container if I had continued to just use the container and then tossed it. So I'm really happy that I cut the tube. Anyway, much less convenient for traveling. But what I wanted to say is I've been trying to finish up some things at work, so I did not have time to film at all last week, past Monday. We've also had a very busy weekends because we had like family occasions for which we had to travel to the south of the country. So I haven't had the chance to continue my makeup collection series either. And by the very realistic looks of it, I think this may be the last video before I go on holiday. Because we're leaving, it is Monday today, we're leaving on Friday. I still have things to finish. I need to do my nails before we go on holiday. I need to do things. So there's a big chance that this will be the last video until like the middle of August or something. But hopefully I've left you with enough entertainment so that you don't really miss me. Honestly, I think nobody will miss me. You guys are probably going to go on holidays yourselves. Anyway, for my foundation I'm going to do my usual mixy mix as of late. The Hourglass Vanish Liquid in the shade Buff and MAC Face and Body in the shade NC25. So, let's get back to talking about that collection, shall we? I don't even know that there's much to say, honestly. I mean, so okay, they revealed the collection. The collection isn't just the two quads, it features the Essence, some re-releases of her cream blushes, and one of those balm sticks. Am I lying? Is that true? I think so. I think that's also in the collection. Anyway, obviously the two more interesting things in there are the two quads. As it turns out, one of the quads contains 3 shades out of the Jeweled Temptation palette, one of the Mega Motherships for last year. So there's that, repeats again. And I think what everyone was more excited about was that quad with the purples and the mints. And initially when I saw the swatches I was also really excited about it, and I thought, well, you know what, I'm probably going to get this because at this point I'm itching to buy some eyeshadow from Pat McGrath. But as it happens, because I'm going on holiday, I don't dare to purchase anything and to order anything because I don't want it to arrive when I'm not at home. I just wanted to make a little like side note here about pet shipping. So I've complained a lot in the past about pet shipping. However, I feel like in the last year or so the shipping has dramatically improved because the 2 times that I have ordered from Pat this year, so the cream blushes and Nude Nocturne, the lipstick, as well as the sweater. I bought one of her sweaters, which you will see at some point in time. It's just too warm for me to wear it right now because it has long sleeves. But I did buy one of her sweaters because, you know, I was out of other things to buy. And it has the artwork of Mothership 5 from the Matte Limited Edition collection, which I have, and I'm a huge fan of that artwork. So I figured if I'm ever going to wear any brand's logo and artwork out and about, it will be Pat McGrath Labs. And whenever Lisa Eldridge decides to restock her sweaters, I'm definitely going to get ribbon. Like the one that has the ribbon color on it. But anyway, completely side note. So I bought those items, like 2 separate purchases over the course of the last year, half a year or so. And I've ordered them with her regular shipping. They were shipped promptly within a day or 2. And they arrived within 7 to 10 days. So her shipping has improved dramatically. I don't know what the status of her express shipping is. I can only hope that it has gotten better, but nothing about this collection even suggested that I would pay express shipping for it. I might have paid express shipping if she had released an awesome mothership. That, absolutely. But as it is, I'm not paying her, you know, express shipping unless she releases something that I have to have 3 days later. For my concealer, I'm going to make a concoction of the Lancome Tainted Oil in the shade 01 together with this NYX Bear With Me concealer serum in the shade Vanilla. I'm just going to like mix some underneath my eyes. So one of the quads has repeats from a palette that I wasn't even interested in to begin with, because the Jeweled Temptations palette was the one with all the like warmer shades and the purple. So that was the Mega Mothership from last year's holiday collection, the ones that had the blushes in them. I must tell you quite honestly, I'm a huge fan of the palette that I bought from those two Mega Motherships, the Starstruck Splendor. I love that palette, I really do. But I didn't buy Jeweled Temptation for a reason. It just didn't speak to me at any level, and it's just such a like signature. I call it the signature Pat color story now. It's a gold, it's some sort of a pinky shade, it's some sort of like a browny purple shade, and a gold. Did I say a gold? Well, a gold. Anyway, it's like, you know, it's the quintessential Pat color story. From what I can tell, there are no re-promoted shades. I don't think there are re-promoted shades in the pink purpley quad. So I was super excited about it, and then when they released the swatches of that, I thought, oh, I'm going to buy this. But then between not wanting to order it immediately because I just will not be at home to receive it, and thinking about it real deep, I've decided that it's quite unlikely that I'm going to buy even that purpley pinky quad. Unless people start to come out with reviews and I start drooling over some of those eyeshadows because they're so unique and such amazing quality, I just sincerely doubt that I'm going to even buy that quad. I can't get over the fact that let's not say she, because I don't think Pat really knows what's going on anymore with her brand. She's, you know, out there living her best, you know, on the run editorial looks life, and she has let the reins go of Pat McGrath Labs. Someone else is in the steering wheel, that's obvious. I can't get over the fact that they are releasing this cardboard packaging, you guys, and I can understand the cardboard packaging when we're talking about, I don't know, the holiday collection and those Mega Mothership palettes, because it makes those Mega Mothership palettes really like good value for money, because you're getting either 15 shades or 9 shades and 2 blushes for something between 70 and 80 euros. And now I'm taking the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. And now they're shoving those 4 shadows that are nothing special in terms of their texture. There's nothing, you know, exceptional about the formula of these eyeshadows. They're mattes and metallics, that's it. Like satin mattes, metallics, that's it. And then shoving them in cardboard. So essentially, please think about this. You will be paying 56 euros or dollars for 4 eyeshadows in cardboard packaging, when if you wait a little bit for the holidays to roll around, you're going to get 9 eyeshadows plus 2 blushes, or 15 eyeshadows for something between 70 and 80 euros. That's wild. That's just oh, how do you say that in English? We have this saying in Bulgarian that it's like robbery at broad daylight. That's robbery at broad daylight. Do not be fooled, we are smarter than this. I'm going to quickly do my brows with the Too Faced Laminating Brow Wax. So just the more I think about this quad, the less attractive it is to me. Like, I can't get excited about it. I'm sorry, I just can't get excited about it. I'm sure that a lot of you would have really appreciated if I had gotten this quad for science, tested it out and told you what I feel about it. But you know, I don't buy things for the channel, I buy things for the Mariam. If the Mariam wants something, you will see it on this channel. If the Mariam doesn't want it, she's not going to invest her money in it, okay? And I also don't want to send the wrong message to whoever is in the steering wheel of Pat McGrath Labs. I don't want to give them the impression that they're going to get my money just because they slapped Pat's logo on it. Because that's really what's going on, right? The last couple of years we've all had this secret feeling that Pat isn't really involved with the conception of her products anymore. And it was painfully obvious when that switch changed, because we all recall the beginnings of her brand, but it was extremely clear that Pat is in the steering wheel and she's calling the shots. And she's, you know, choosing what to be in these collections, what textures, what colors, all of that. The artwork even, like, what's up with the artwork on this? I've been told that Colourpop has a very similar color story, and honestly I can believe it. If I did not know that this was from Pat McGrath Labs, one, I would have never guessed that it's from Pat McGrath Labs, and two, I would have never bought it. If you just put the 4 eyeshadows outside of the context of that palette, I would have never been attracted to them. And truth be told, that could even be said of other, you know, palettes from Pat. If you took them out of the context of, you know, the packaging and the Pat McGrath Labs logo, are they really that special? Some are not, but it's been because of the combination of the packaging and the combination of the colors and the textures and everything that we've been so crazy about this brand. Did you come, beauty? Did you come, beautiful kitty? Hey, Monache, where did you go, girl? We've been joined by a Mona. I am going to take Desert Glow, Pat's bronzer in the shade Desert Glow, and I am looking for a brush to apply this with. So sorry, I'm just going to grab my beloved Classic Cheek here from Sonia G to apply the blush and the bronzer. And the other thing that, you know, we keep recycling this argument that, you know, we are not the only customers of the brand. There's the regular Joe that walks into Sephora and doesn't know that Pat has released 11 mothership palettes and a number of other quads and palettes, and they just walk in and want to buy something pretty. So let's go back to the beginning. In the beginning, Pat was clearly a very niche brand. Pat was a brand aimed at people who knew who Pat McGrath the person is and who appreciated her artistry. Cool. Being a niche brand, though, meant that we're talking about a very select group of people who are buying her products. They know what they're getting, they're willing to invest their money in something that is really worthwhile and artistic. Great. Then the brand grew a little bit, and I feel like more people heard of the brand and person Pat McGrath Labs, myself included. Did that make Pat McGrath Labs a household name like, you know, any other brand that you would find in Sephora? I don't think so. I don't think so, if I'm being completely honest. The regular Joe around me has absolutely no idea what Pat McGrath Labs is. The regular Joe around me would walk into Sephora and be horrified by Pat's eyeshadows because they're too pigmented, they're too sparkly, they're too intimidating. So even her more like crowd-pleasing color stories, like we had this whole argument that Sunlit Seduction is a very crowd-pleasing color story. That red in the far red corner of the palette, that is not a crowd pleaser. That is an eyeshadow that the regular Joe would be absolutely mortified to even look at, let alone put anywhere near their eyeballs. The rest of the shades, while more approachable, are still very highly pigmented. Some of them are also very sparkly. And I can tell you, because I work with a lot of regular Joes, they would not. So at this point, my question is, who is the target audience of this brand? Is it like random people who may or may not be attracted by the palettes that they see on display? Because it's clearly not the core. It's really not the niche that used to purchase her products anymore. I'm going to take my beloved Desert Orchid, because I don't think we've used Desert Orchid on my channel in a while. So my question is, who is the brand's target audience anymore? I don't get it. There was a time when I feel us, like the niche collector appreciators of Pat McGrath Labs the person, were the target audience, and, you know, hopefully they would expand a bit to attract additional, you know, groups of people by offering a variety of products, some that are more approachable and some that are a bit more artistic. But I feel like now the brand is having a bit of an identity crisis. They don't really know anymore who they are serving to, and you can see it. So I don't get it, because the niche collector people, we have stopped purchasing. Like, I don't know about you, and I know that some people, like a lot of people, still bought Sunlit Seduction, but I didn't. And I'm sure there are other people like me out there who are Pat McGrath Labs collectors who did not buy Sunlit Seduction because it was just not a great palette. So I don't know. I don't really know that they're targeting the regular Joe, because I don't think the regular Joe really walks into a Sephora and locks eyes with a Mothership palette and thinks this is the palette for me. Let's do Golden Moonlight for highlighter. And then I also did a bit more deep thinking about that quad with the purples and the mints. I'm sorry, I'm like all over the place because I just have many thoughts that apparently need to make their way out of my brain. I thought even more deeply about this quad and why I like it, and I came to the conclusion that I like it because there are eyeshadows in there which remind me of eyeshadows that I already have from Pat, okay? And in some instances I maybe even have the better versions. And I'm going to illustrate that with some examples in just a few seconds when I'm finished applying this highlighter. I'm going to quickly set everything with Fix Plus here. So let's quickly cover the one shade that I absolutely hate in that quad, and that is once again that hot pink. I just don't understand who wears hot pinks. Please, by show of hand, do you wear hot pinks? And I'm sure some people do, because maybe some people, you know, can't pull them off, but hot pinks like the ones that Pat stands to offer do not flatter me one bit, not as a blush and not as an eyeshadow. So I realized I already have a really beautiful hot pink, and that is the wrong quad. Let me grab the correct one. I already have a hot pink. Do I use that hot pink? Not really. And it's a beautiful formula. Also, it's this creamy matte formula. It was introduced in the Risque Rose quad, and I don't know that it has ever really been repeated. It is a gorgeous formula, a gorgeous eyeshadow. If I were into hot pinks, then I'm covered. I already have several from Pat's previous color stories. Then the other eyeshadow that really spoke to me in that quad spoke to me because it reminds me of Lavendering. Lavendering is a glorious eyeshadow, and you know what? If they had re-promoted actual Lavendering, I might have bought that just so I have a backup of Lavendering, because Lavendering is a phenomenal eyeshadow. Lavendering is so freaking gorgeous, so dimensional, so interesting, and it has a very interesting formula. This is not one of her regular mattes and metallics. There is something about the formula of this eyeshadow that almost reminds of like a Blitz Astro shade without being baked. So I already have Lavendering. I already have the most beautiful, you know, lavender shifting eyeshadow in my collection. So there's one that I already have. Then obviously the other eyeshadow that I was super attracted to was the mint shade. Now admittedly my dupe here is probably more green. I think the one in the new quad is a bit more blue leaning, but it's the mint shade here from the Bridgerton 2 color. Can you see the pan I'm already starting to show over here? That's how much I love this shade. And this was the other shade that I really desired from this quad, the minty green, because I love me a good minty green moment. But I already have this shade here from the Bridgerton 2 palette, and yes, while I make good use of it and I already have a huge dent in it, it will still take me like a good amount of years to really go through it. Now the only eyeshadow that I don't have a true dupe for, and it looks really pretty, is this translucent shade which seems to shift lavender or lavender or green depending on how the light hits it. I don't have a dupe at all for that shade within my Pat McGrath Labs palettes, so I don't think one really exists within her range, so that's really the only truly unique shade in that quad. But for that one unique shade, I'm not going to purchase the whole thing for 56 euros. Anywho, zooming you in so we can continue our the eye look, I'm going to grab my beloved Midnight Sun palette here, and for starters I'm going to apply all the neutrals. So this one in my crease, this one in the, you know, lashes here as a bit of an outer corner liner type of moment. This one is going to go all over the lid. This one's one of my favorites as a neutral look. So that was basically how my thought process has gone thus far, and why I am rather convinced that I will not be purchasing this quad. At this point I would rather wait it out until they either announce a mothership or the new holiday collection, because let's face it, after the summer holidays it will already be, you know, time for holiday collection, you know, hints and releases. So I sincerely hope that with the holiday collection we're at least going to get more quints. At the very least I consider the quints to be a somewhat more unique, you know, an interesting formula that I really enjoy. So that's pretty much where I stand on this new release. I don't get it, it's weirdly timed. I don't get the message of this collection, and I'm so confused. I think a lot of us are. Did any of you in the end purchase any of the quads, like both quads, one of the quads? Please do let me know if you received them at some point and what you think about them. The swatches that I have seen so far online haven't been super impressive, but I must say I think you can make pretty much any eyeshadow look really shitty if you like swatching things, and taking a photo of them is extremely difficult. That's why I hardly ever do that even on Instagram. I love swatching my eyeshadows and I love taking pictures of them, but 99% of the time I'm so frustrated at how inaccurate the swatches are that I would just rather make a video about it, like come and show you here on camera how the eyeshadows look like, because swatches are not going to tell you much. You can make swatches look really, really good, or you can make them look really, really bad. So I don't really know that I not trust, but will really be able to form an opinion on these based on swatches that I've seen online. So I'm sort of waiting for the people who did buy the quad online, not online, on YouTube, to post videos with them. I'm pretty sure Charlotte Holdcroft bought it, which surprises me because that's so not like her usual comfort zone when it comes to colors. But I think she bought the one with the purple and the mint, not the neutral one, but anyway, we'll see. I'm going to grab this more crease type brush and apply the dark brown shade, and I'm just going to apply it here and then slightly lift it towards the outer corner in this sort of like triangular shape. I really like this shape on my eyes. And I'm just going to sketch out the shape, and I'm going to give it a light blend in a second. And I know that we've also talked so much, like we've regurgitated this topic so many times, but I think we just all like delusionally hope that at some point we're going to see something which, you know, shows a semblance of what we are used to from Pat McGrath Labs. So we keep, you know, our emotions are still high, but they can't count on that either. At some point we're just going to run dry of tears and it will be done. Okay, now I'm going to grab a tiny bit of my NYX glitter glue here to apply all over my lids and my inner corners. I think this is pretty much a wrap on my thoughts on this collection. And like I said, as of now I plan to not pick up anything from it, not even the beautiful purpley minty quad. If I changed my mind about it, I don't know that I want to buy it full price. I think I might wait until I see it on sale. And I want to say at some point someone said that some of these were sold out, or both of them are sold out. Sold out my ass. I'm going to take the metallic shade now. They're trying some marketing ploy on us that we are way too savvy for, okay? We know, we can see right through it. They're not sold out. They're definitely going to come back. And if they only like made 5 palettes because they expected the sales to be so low, then that says enough about this collection. So I don't believe these are gone. I think they're just trying to get us hyped for it, so that even the people like me who are on the fence would be like, oh, let me go grab it because it will sell out. No, it won't. And if it does, and I didn't want it for so long and I only wanted it because it was sold out, then something's wrong with my brain and I need to, you know, have a conversation with myself. Alright, now I want to include a step that I've actually really been enjoying for the past week or so before I apply the inner corners. I'm going to take this Kiko eyeshadow stick in the number 28. The reason for that being my right eye continues to tear really badly. And what I've noticed is that if I apply this as a base, even if the actual eyeshadow color disappears, this stays in my inner corners really, really well. And it's just a nice like inner corner highlight. Even if it's by itself, it's still brightening and it still serves as an inner corner highlight better than, you know, nothing left there. So I've really been enjoying it, using it in that capacity. I've actually really just been enjoying using my Kiko eyeshadow sticks. The makeup collection series is not just, you know, working for you guys, it's really working for me as well. I've been rediscovering so many gems in my own collection. So I cleaned off a little bit the brush on which I had the lid shade, and I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to go into one of the Blitz Astro shades. This is the shade, I have absolutely no idea how this shade is called. This is the shade Jubilee, and I'm going to pop Jubilee in my inner corners in the hopes that it's actually going to be okay as an inner corner highlight. Oh yeah, oh, that's pretty. I was thinking of Gold Standard, but I wore this dress for a few hours yesterday, and I wore Gold Standard. And I was thinking of wearing Gold Standard again because it fits perfectly with the colors of the dress. But I thought, let me switch it up a little bit and maybe focus on a different hue in the dress. So I'm focusing a bit more on like the greenish hue today. Next I'm going to take Venusian Sunrise, and I'm going to dip into the beautiful topper shade here. And this shade is just going to give the most beautiful sheen to my lids. I'm going to try to apply a tiny bit of that over top of the metallic from Midnight Sun and just press it in together with that shade, because the Venusian Sunrise shade just gives the most beautiful like wet lid effect. And finally on my lower lashes I'm going to complete the look by taking the shade, I think Envy. Is it Envy? Wicked Envy. I'm going to take Wicked Envy and apply that as my lower lash line pop of Golden Olive. I will try to insert a picture of the look that I wore yesterday with this palette, just so you can see, not with this palette, with this dress, just so you can see how different of an effect you can get if you just switch up the eyeshadow. I completed the look with one of my new Gucci Neutrals lipsticks. This one is in the shade Eliza Ginger. I wanted to have a nude that has a hint of warmth to it, but it's not. It's just a nude. It's like a nice, somewhat like deeper nude, and I think this just fits perfectly with the look. I'm actually really happy with how the look turned out. I wasn't exactly sure in which direction I was going when I started, because I just, you know, felt like filming but without really a good plan in my head of what the look is going to look like. And I'm actually quite happy with the results. A bit of a rambly video. I'm sorry if I made your ears bleed talking about the same topic over and over again. At some point I'm just going to get tired of talking with Pat McGrath Labs, which is a little bit sad actually. Do let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you thought about this look. If we don't see each other anymore, then I wish you a fabulous few weeks, and I will see you towards the mid of August. I hope you're having a great summer, no matter whether you're taking holidays or not, because, you know, at least for me, summer is always like such a happy time. Anyway, now I'm going to stop rambling. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video, whenever that is. Bye!